let's look at this construction problem from RMO 2019, and it starts with a circle. So let's draw that circle. Let's call it gamma, and we pick an arbitrary point on the circle. Let's say P. So that's the setup. Well, we have a line as well passing through P, so maybe we can just draw it like this, and let's call this line AB. So a circle gamma, a line or a chord rather, in this case AB, and a point P on the circle. Let's suppose we draw the center of the circle as well. It's usually a good idea to mark the center. So what's the question? The question is, we want to find out all circles, and that's under quotes because we will see that there are only two. So only two will exist. So do not worry about the all part. So we want to find out all circles which fulfill three conditions. The first one is the center is on AB. So the center will be somewhere here, or it could be here, and so on and so forth. So the center is on the line AB, on the segment AB. The second condition is the circle pass through P. So it's definitely passing through P like this. And finally, third one is that this circle is tangent to gamma. So it basically looks like somewhat like this. So with the center on the line AB and passing through P and tangent to the bigger circle. So these are the three conditions that the circles that we construct will satisfy. So our job is to construct all such circles. Now whenever you see all, of course there could be infinitely many circles theoretically, and certainly you cannot draw infinitely many things. So usually it's either finitely many, it will end up being finitely many, or there is a simple algorithm to draw all of them. So in this case we will say it's just finitely many. So instead of solving the problem, let's talk a little bit about the strategy. I mean, of course we will solve it. The strategy, the link in the description will take you to tutorial. The tutorial will contain some hint problems which will sort of enhance your skill, and then you can look into this problem in a more efficient manner. So I will strongly suggest go to the link in the description and look into the tutorial problems, and you can also send it to us just for fun. We will look into your solution as well. Okay. All right. So what is the strategy of this to solve this kind of problems? So instead of starting the construction like arbitrarily, you can imagine that you have already constructed such a circle. So here is let me write that. So imagine that you have already constructed such a circle. So if you have done that, then you know that there is this big circle, there is this line AB, there is the point P, and you have done your job. So you have already constructed this one such required circle in green, and that circle is tangent to this yellow one, the big one. So it's tangent. Its center lies on the line AB and it passes through the point P. So it satisfies all the three conditions that you want it to satisfy. So imagine that you have already constructed such a circle, one such circle. And then, this is step 1. Step 2, search for properties of this little circle that will help you to backtrack the process. So this little circle that we have drawn, it has some properties that will help you to track it down. So it's sort of a back calculation in some sense. Once you know these special properties that this little circle has, you can now think about how to draw this little circle given the big circle, the line and the point P. Also keep an eye on what is given. The given data are the following. So this first thing is the big circle gamma. That's what's given. The line AB, that's also given, and the point P. So I'm lying a little bit. Actually, the entire line AB is given. But you can easily see why this little circle needs to be inside the big circle. After all, it passes through the point P and it's tangent to the big circle. And that can only happen if the entire small circle lies inside the big one. Okay, so what are the properties? What are the properties of this little circle that can help us track down the bigger one? So I will give you some hints in the description, in the link in the description, which will again be a tutorial. So instead of watching the entire solution video, you can look into the tutorial one more time and try to solve those problems. It will help you a lot in obtaining the necessary skills, Okay, so what is the first thing that you observe? Well, here is the construction that you will see. Basically, you have to exploit this point O. Somehow, this will work. So you have to draw a line that is parallel to AB through O. Draw MN, so maybe I can just give it a name, MN parallel to AB. So that's the first step. And you can actually use it as a hint. Of course, the data about the circle that you already know is that it has this circle, has the center O. So you have to use this center O in some manner, and you have to use this line AB in some manner. So we draw a line MN that is parallel to AB. So maybe you can pause the video right here and try the problem with this hint. So this is hint 1. Okay, so hint 1. Okay, what should we do next? Maybe I can draw the picture one more time. So a little bit bigger this time. So this is the circle gamma. This is the line AB. This is the point P. And this is the center of the circle O. And our first hint is that we have drawn a line that is parallel to the green one. The green one was the given, and this is MN. We have drawn a line MN parallel to AB. Parallel to AB. What's the next step? Well, the next step would be join PM and produce it to meet the circle at R. Step 2, join PM and produce it. Excellent. So that's understandable. Can you pause the video now and try it on your own? See, what we have to do is we have to find the center of the smaller circles. If we can find the center of the smaller circle and we know that it's passing through this point P, then we are done. Okay, step 3, the final step. Step 3 is that this join OR. So my claim is that this point, so maybe I can write it here, join OR. So this point right here, let's call it O1. This is the center of the small circle. And you can draw this small circle like this. And you can prove that indeed this will be tangent to the big circle at the point R. It will definitely pass through the point P due to the construction that we did. Can you find the other circle that will also have these same properties using this same construction? So link in the description will take you to the tutorial section which will have more problems and backtracking procedure that will tell you why we found this particular construction and how you can find it. That's more important. You need to find this construction in some manner. So what will be the logical step, sequence of steps that will lead you to this construction? So look in the link in the description, and I will see you in the next video.